When I started painting, I loved color so much, and I had the financial wherewithal to buy whatever color I wanted. So I would have all these colors on my palette, which is not this anymore. I've toned myself down. But all these colors on my palette, and I tried to use all of them in one single painting, which obviously is too much, you know. But so it started me thinking about color, and for me, I'm an intuitive colorist. And because I had just finished a red painting, I hadn't done a red painting in like 2 or 3 years, and I used to paint red all the time. So it was so nice to get back in touch with red. And when I did that painting, and I wrote a blog, and then I looked up color, about color, and Sir Isaac Newton's theories of color. He was a genius, mathematician, scientist, but from his interpretation of color, there was no emotional interpretation in it. The person who came after Isaac Newton, Goethe, came along, and his stance was that color cannot be objectively observed without the emotional aspects of it. And I loved that. And I so related to that, because that, as an artist, color is an emotional thing. And Goethe said, "The sun was not made for the eye. It was not made by the eye or of the eye. The eye was made for the sun. It is of the sun." Can you just, I can feel that in my solar plexus. He said, "The light that bathes creation was the precondition that caused our eyes to be as they are." When we see color, it's not out there in the world, painted onto tulips and snowbanks. It is formed in our eye and our mind. Our perceptual apparatus creates color within us, tweaked and filtered by our emotional state and cultural biases. So color's within us, which made me think about if we couldn't see color as our predecessors, how would it be? You know, no blue sky, no beautiful mountains and sunsets. How did we arrive at this point in our evolution? To me, that's spiritual, because that means there's a consciousness in back of things. I believe in evolution, but I love that because the eye, it is of the sun. It's like without that evolutionary process of the sun, the solar system, the creature coming onto the land from the sea, you know, and all through this whole process, and that's why we see. And that's why we see color. That makes me feel like crying. And humans can see, the wavelength we can see is 400 nanometers up to 700 nanometers. So there has to be color beyond and below that that we haven't developed the ability to see yet. But it makes you wonder whether ultimately we'll be able to see a bigger range of color through the evolutionary process.